What's up, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I will be your host in this video. My name is David, and in this video we will be talking about Friday Night Smackdown. I will be giving a review for Friday Night Smackdown for January the 7th, 2022. Before we get into this review, I would like to have a small talk intro with you guys. So I'll be doing this when I'm conducting reviews. We'll do a small talk opening before we actually get into the review. So in this small talk opening, I would like to talk about nothing making sense tonight, and I'm actually going to title this video WWE Friday Night Smackdown review in parentheses, nothing makes sense. Think about this. We get another tag match between the Usos versus Kofi, Kingston, and Xavier Woods. This is way too redundant at this point in time now. Within the past 5 years, they've wrestled each other at least 1,000 times. Like Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds. Vince McMahon is the man of 1,000 redundant matches, because these guys wrestled each other already 2 times this year. I'm recording this video. This is Saturday, January the 8th, 2022. They've already wrestled each other twice this year. And they wrestled each other before the Day 1 pay-per-view. They wrestled each other at Day 1 pay-per-view. And now we get another match with them on SmackDown? Really? This is what we get. That's what I mean. Vince McMahon is off his rocker at this point in time. It's lazy booking. And WWE creative team, they don't have any creativity. That's why WWE starting to lose its luster in a sense, because they're too redundant. They've released within the past year or so, but we could say 2 years since the pandemic, they probably released at least 140 people. I would have to actually get the real math on it, but it's well over 100 people that WWE has released since this whole pandemic started in 2020. It's sad when you think about it that we're getting the same matches over and over and over and over and over again. And then you wonder why it's hard for ratings to truly go up like they should be, like it should be. Nothing makes sense with this company at all. We get the same nonsense booking from Vince McMahon. I can't even blame Bruce Pritchard, because if any of those guys backstage have any brilliant ideas, those ideas have to be they have to come across Vince McMahon, and if he doesn't like it, he's going to trash it. It's just that plain and simple. And yeah, we do not need to see this match anymore this year, but I'm quite sure we'll see this match another 68 times before this year is out. And I'm being nice saying 68. We might even see this match 159 times before this year is out. But again, nothing makes sense tonight on this show. And towards the end of the show, again, nothing makes sense. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'll save that towards the end of the review. So that's it with the small talk intro opening before the review. Like I said, we'll start doing this before every review, and that's including AEW, Monday Night Raw, Rampage, Friday Night Smackdown, the pay-per-views, etc., you name it. So I'm going to try to make this video under 30 minutes. Right now, I see I'm at the 4-minute mark. I don't want to hold you guys up on this review. I'll try to keep this video short. I know it's a 2-hour show, but I'll try to keep it at least 30 minutes. And with that being said, before I go into this review, I have to say this. If you are new to the channel, hit that like and also subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. That way you'll be notified whenever I drop content on the channel. Also, if you're not new to the channel, also leave a thumbs up. It will greatly help the channel out a lot. So I really appreciate you guys if you press the like button and also subscribe to the channel. I really would and do appreciate it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this Friday Night Smackdown review. So the location of Friday Night Smackdown was at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. So we kick off the show just like we did with Monday Night Raw, with a video package of Brock Lesnar winning the WWE Heavyweight Championship belt at the Day 1 pay-per-view. And then we also see a video package of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman of them cutting their promo about Roman Reigns this past Monday night on Monday Night Raw. So the same old thing. They don't switch up anything. Why switch it up when that's just something we can just copy and paste? We can just spam the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You put it through your whole social media accounts on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else and Facebook that Brock Lesnar is the new champ. I mean, how many times do they have to let us know that Brock Lesnar is the WWE Heavyweight Champion now? You know what I mean? But anyways, back to the review. After the video package of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, we get Roman Reigns, who makes his way down to the ring. Roman gets into the ring with a microphone in his hand, and he tells New England to acknowledge him. Roman Reigns then goes on to say he never wants to see Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman again. As soon as he says that, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman made their way to the ring. Brock Lesnar introduces himself to Roman Reigns, not Roman, but Roman Reigns, and tells Roman Reigns to acknowledge him. Basically, Brock Lesnar introduces himself the way Paul Heyman will introduce Brock Lesnar. The typical Paul Heyman introduction does with Brock Lesnar. But anyways, Brock Lesnar tells Roman Reigns to acknowledge him. Brock then goes on to say that you got what you want, I got what I want. Let's give the fans what they want. A title versus title match. Roman Reigns then goes on to say, that's a good idea, but it's not my idea. Roman Reigns then goes on to say, I don't do business who do business with trash like Paul Heyman. Now, I'm not going to lie, I had a little laugh out loud moment. Paul Heyman is just a genius on that mic. I tell you that much. This guy's is just is on a different level when it comes to mic skills, to the way he cut promos. He's on another level. But anyways, Paul Heyman tells Roman Reigns, how can you talk to me this way? Paul Heyman was whining and saying how he protected Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns was his tribal chief. Lesnar then tells Heyman, what did you say? And he tells Brock Lesnar tells Paul Heyman, what did you say? And then tell Paul Heyman to shut up. And then Roman Reigns say, hey, don't talk to him like that. And then Brock gets into Roman Reigns' face and says, or what? Heyman then tells Brock not to talk to Roman Reigns like that. Brock turns his back on Heyman and tells Paul Heyman to shut up. And while Brock's back was turned away from Roman then sneak attacked Brock Lesnar by hitting him with a Superman punch to the face. And we then see the camera zoom into Paul Heyman's face, and he has the eyes wide as I don't know what. If you ever seen any of the nature documentary shows where you see a lion on a hunt for like the buffalo and how the eyes look like it's dilated or whatnot, like their pupils, that's how Paul Heyman's eyes is looking. And we see how shocked and surprised Paul Heyman was. We seen the look on his face, and then Roman Reigns leaves the ring, and we can hear him talking that this is his show, talking about Friday Night Smackdown, and how he tells Brock Lesnar to go back to the number 2 show, referring to Monday Night Raw. Once that segment was over, we go to a commercial break. We then come back from commercial break, and we see Sami Zayn backstage, and we get a little promo with Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. And Sami Zayn is basically telling Johnny Knoxville that he's not cut out to be in the Royal Rumble and that he's not qualified to be in the Royal Rumble. And we basically get a 5-minute match after the promo with Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. We basically get a 5-minute match between Sami Zayn and Rick Boogs. Again, this match is only 5 minutes, and the match starts off with Rick Boogs hitting Sami Zayn with 2 overhead suplexes and the Gorilla Press Slam. And then we go to commercial break. We then come back from the commercial break, and the match continues with Sami Zayn and Rick Boogs. Sami Zayn counters by dropping Boogs' neck on the top rope. Sami Zayn does a single arm handle off the second rope on Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs, he also displays strength by hitting Sami Zayn with a delayed vertical suplex. Imagine being on one knee and you kind of got him up in the vertical suplex, and then you squat up and you stand up on both legs, and then you drop him. I mean, that was impressive to see the strength from Rick Boogs to even do a British Bulldog type delayed suplex like that. I never seen something like that before, so I thought that was awesome. But anyways, Rick Boogs then again hit him with the delayed vertical suplex. Sami Zayn then counters Rick Boogs' offense by throwing him outside of the ring. Sami Zayn then takes Rick Boogs, throws him back into the ring. And while he throws him back in the ring, Sami Zayn gets into it with Shinsuke Nakamura outside of the ring. Then Zayn gets into the ring, and as he's walking towards Rick Boogs, he tried to squat down and pick him up, but then then Rick Boogs basically counters Sami Zayn's offense basically into a small package roll-up pin for the 1, 2, 3. I'm kind of laughing because of the name of that move. It's called a small package pin. But anyways, he hit him with the small package pin, and he gets the victory over Sami Zayn. Again, it was a 5-minute match. Then after the match is over, Rick Boogs and Nakamura celebrating outside of the ring, basically, and then we get Johnny Knoxville. Mind you, Sami Zayn back is turned because he's facing Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura, and then Johnny Knoxville basically sneaks up behind Sami Zayn and throws him over the top rope. And then the announcer informs us, the crowd, and everybody at home watching Friday Night Smackdown, that Knoxville is non-eligible to be in the Royal Rumble. Now, and this doesn't make any sense to me because he's already been cutting promos. He actually cut one on Raw this past Monday about being in the Royal Rumble. So they're going to put him in the Royal Rumble anyways. What do they mean that he's eligible, meaning Johnny Knoxville is eligible to be in the Royal Rumble if he was already going to be put in the Royal Rumble in the first place? You see what I mean? Nothing makes sense. That was uncalled for. Like, they really making Sami Zayn a joke on Friday Night SmackDown. Sami Zayn should be booked a lot better than what's going on right now with him. I don't know what it is, but I think Sami Zayn should be booked more serious than he's being booked. But again, nothing makes sense in this company 95% of the time. But anyways, after that segment was over, we then get a promo backstage with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and they basically cut a promo saying how they're going to beat the Usos and become the new tag team champs. Okay. The same old promo we've heard thousands of times between them. Anyways, we then get Charlotte Flair after that segment was over, and she's making her way down to the ring, and then we go to commercial break. We then come back from the commercial break, and then we get a promo from Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair mocked the ideas of New Year's resolutions. She basically saying that those are the things that are designed to make people feel better, but she doesn't have to do that. The Royal Rumble is coming up, and it is a chance for a lot of women to make their mark. And I'll make a video about the women that will be in the Royal Rumble because she basically asked the producers to show a video package of the women who will be in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble this year. But anyways, Charlotte then says she's going to insert herself into the Royal Rumble. And then we hear Naomi music comes out, and she interrupts Charlotte and challenges Charlotte for a title match right now. And Charlotte basically said, you haven't done anything to deserve a match against me. And then Naomi goes on to say, well, I know I've done this. And she slaps Charlotte in the face. Charlotte then gets mad and charges at Naomi, and Naomi just sidestepped her and threw her outside of the ring. And then once that takes place, we go to a commercial break. We come back from the commercial break. We get a non-title match between Charlotte Flair and Naomi. Charlotte immediately starts chopping away at Naomi, and then she puts Naomi in a leg lock while mashing her head into the mat. Her face was being driven into the mat. Naomi fights up and hits a bulldog into the middle buckle, but Charlotte boots her off the top rope out to the floor. Charlotte Flair then leaves and goes outside the ring and throws Naomi over the barricade. Charlotte Flair tried to pick up Naomi while she was on the other side of the barricade. Naomi then kicks Charlotte in the side of the head. Then Naomi jumps on the barricade and hits Charlotte Flair with a blockbuster that knocks Charlotte out on the floor. And then Naomi gets back into the ring and the referee is on the 8 count. And then Sonya Deville goes on to say that this match cannot be won by countout. Charlotte then has a chop block to take Naomi down. And then we go on commercial break. Then we come back from the commercial break with Naomi kicking Charlotte in the face, setting up a springboard spinning kick to the face for a 2 count. Charlotte shrugs it off and grabs the figure 4. So Naomi puts Naomi on the figure 4, but then Naomi makes it to the ropes. Then Naomi, not Naomi, but Sonya Deville goes on to say that this match is a no DQ match. So this match is a no DQ match, and Naomi can't win by countout. So anyways, Naomi is stood down, so Charlotte stomps away while Naomi on the ropes. And then Charlotte tried to go for a moonsault, but Naomi got out the way. Naomi grabs Charlotte for a roll-up, but only gets a 2 count. Charlotte hits a backbreaker out of the corner for 2 of her own and breaks up the split leg moonsault. So Naomi trying to go for the split leg moonsault, but Charlotte got up and hit her. Naomi hit her head like on the ring post behind the turnbuckle. Charlotte Flair then hits a back body drop. Then she goes for the natural selection immediately. And then we get the 1, 2, 3. Charlotte Flair wins, and Sonya Deville gets on the mic and says, "You're a loser, Naomi." And that pretty much ended the match. And that match, TV time, was 11 minutes. We got an 11-minute match between Charlotte Flair and Naomi takes a L in that match. So then we go backstage and we get a promo with the Usos basically saying they're ready for the new day and that they're going to put an end to this rivalry once and for all. Then we see backstage Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, and they've been told by WWE executives that they have to find an opponent for Roman Reigns at the 2022 Royal Rumble. And then we see them go off trying to find out who they can choose to be a challenger for Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. Then we see Happy Corbin making his way to the ring for a segment called Happy Talk. Corbin talks about how with the coronavirus running around, you have to watch your back. That includes Drew McIntyre, and they show the clip of Corbin and Madcap Moss attacking Drew McIntyre at the Day 1 pay-per-view. Then Corbin asked McIntyre, because he said that Drew McIntyre is in the building, and he asked Drew McIntyre to come out. Instead of, we hear the music of Drew McIntyre, but instead of Drew McIntyre actually coming out, we get Madcap Moss dressed as McIntyre with a neck brace, a cane, and he was limping with like some sword like he got from Kmart somewhere, like from the old KB toy store or whatnot. I'm not gonna lie, when I seen that, I thought that was pretty funny, to be honest with you. And Moss, you gotta admit, he did a very good job in impersonating Drew McIntyre. He goes on to say, if he can survive Haggis, he can handle anything. Corbin did. He said if they had a match, though, Moss would have all kinds of problems. As for the injury, he's going to milk it for all it's worth so he can write poetry about the Loch Ness Monster. So then we get a match between Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin versus the Viking Raiders, because during the middle of their promo, the Viking Raiders interrupted, so they make their way to the ring. And then we go on a commercial break. We come back from commercial break, and we see Eric headlocking Moss, but it's off to Corbin before that can get very far. Corbin hits Eric with the deep six, and the Viking Raiders get onto the offense, and then Madcap Moss pounds away until the referee has to pull him away, allowing Eric to score with a hard knee to the face. Then we see that Eric tried to go for the tag to Ivar, but then Corbin pulls Ivar off the apron, and Moss hits the punchline on Eric for the 1, 2, 3. Because basically, once Corbin pulled Ivar off the apron, he pushed Ivar into the ring post, so Ivar's out. And again, Moss hits the punchline on Eric of the Viking Raiders and get the 1, 2, 3, and the match is over. And that match was, we can round off and say it was a 4-minute match. I would say it was probably a little under 4 minutes, but we can round off and say it was a 4-minute match. We then see Sheamus, and he talks about how he isn't worried about Drew McIntyre because he's more worried about Ridge Holland's broken nose. If you all seen the pre-show, Ricochet did like a flip and he landed, like his knee landed on Ridge Holland's nose and basically broke his nose. So Sheamus goes on to say how he's going to win the Royal Rumble, and basically he's going to dedicate this Royal Rumble victory and the headline, the main event of WrestleMania, for Ridge Holland. Anyways, we get and mind you, this is all in hour 2. So basically, and I forgot to mention this during the review. So basically, hour 2 basically was the Naomi and Charlotte match that basically rolled over from hour 1 to hour 2. So the Charlotte and Naomi match basically finished off in hour 2. The Usos promo on the New Day, that was in hour 2. The Viking Raiders versus Happy Corbin and Moss and their Happy Talk segment, that was all part of the hour 2 as well. And also, which was part of the hour 2, was Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville trying to find a match for Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble for 2022. That was part of hour 2 as well. But anyways, we see Adam Pearce try to tell Roman Reigns, his Royal Rumble opponent, but Reigns basically was saying he don't care who he faced because he just smashed everybody on SmackDown anyways. He's beating everybody, so you can bring who you want. Basically, it's going to be the same results. So he's not even caring really. He said, I'm interested in watching my cousin's match. And he basically asked Adam Pearce to leave. And Adam Pearce, he get up and leave. And now we get the match between the tag team champions, the Usos, versus the New Day. And this is your main event. And this match that I have was TV time, 15 minutes. It was a 15-minute match between the Usos and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And Woods and Jay get things going, but it's quickly off to Kofi for the trust fall to the floor. We take a very short commercial break. And then we come back from the commercial break. Then we see the Usos and the New Day fighting on the apron. We see Jay gets thrown into the LED boards on the top of the ramp. And then they basically make their way back down to the ring. And we see Woods hits a tornado DDT on Jay Uso and get a 2 count. Jay whips out some duct tape to tie Xavier Woods to the rope, leaving Kofi to hit a sloppy SOS for the 2 count on Jimmy Uso. Woods is then freed by Kofi Kingston in a hurry, and then they fight on the floor outside of the ring. The Usos take Woods, threw him over the barricade, and hit him in the face with the steel steps, only to get knocked down by a diving Kofi Kingston. As we go on another commercial break, And might I add too that the Usos also hit Kofi Kingston with them steel steps as well. So when we come back from commercial break, we see the New Day putting out a helmet and knight and armor, built like a Roman soldier. Meaning Woods can shrug off the super kick because Jay got in the ring and he tries to do a super kick on Xavier Woods while he had on the Spartan helmet or whatnot. I thought that was kind of funny. And then they continue to attack the Usos. Then we see that that the Van Daminators, and it's time to get a table set up in the ring. Basically, I'm talking about Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. We see that Xavier Woods gets from the top rope. He then gets hit, and he basically dropped and hit his, private parts on the third turnbuckle or whatnot. And we see Jay Uso, I believe it was, I think it was Jimmy Uso, where he kicks Xavier Woods in the head, and Xavier Woods basically out. Then both of the Usos, they double super kick Kofi Kingston twice. They put the tables in the ring, and they hit the 1D, as you can see in the thumbnail or the screenshot of this picture in the video. They hit the 1D on Kofi Kingston. He goes through the table. 1, 2, 3, matches over. Jimmy pins Kofi Kingston for the win. And that was the end of the main event match. And one thing I will say with this finish, if you guys go back and look at that pinfall match, if you look at the pinfall, Kofi Kingston's left arm was on the mat, but his right arm was on the table, as far as leaned up on the table. So he only had one arm on the mat while the other arm wasn't on the mat. I really hope they don't use this as their quote-unquote storyline booking in regards to, well, I technically didn't get pinned because both of my arms wasn't on the mat. One arm was on the table that was on the incline, and his other arm was on the mat. So if you think about it, Kofi Kingston really didn't lose that match because he only had one arm on the mat. And if you know wrestling, both shoulders have to be on the mat on the 3 count in order for that person to lose. So hopefully we don't get another match between these guys no time soon. I mean, they shouldn't wrestle each other at all for the remainder of this year. Just my personal opinion on it. But anyways, we see the Usos. They're celebrating in the ring, and we see Roman Reigns watching the match, and he's happy that the Usos won. Then we hear somebody knock on Roman Reigns' door. Hear a few knocks. Roman Reigns gets up, and then, as you can see on the screenshot, we see Seth Rollins enter the office, and he's laughing. And Roman Reigns have a look of concern on his face, thinking that, okay, I may have to be facing Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble for 2022. And that's how we end off Friday Night Smackdown. Now, somebody make this make sense to me. Seth Rollins is on Monday Night Raw. The last time I checked, when they had the draft in October, Seth Rollins got drafted to Monday Night Raw, correct? So if that's the case, and he gets a title shot against Roman Reigns for the WWE SmackDown Championship belt, how is that even possible if he's a Monday Night Raw wrestler? And if I'm not mistaken, this past Monday Night on Raw, Seth Rollins got not pinned, I should say, but he lost. Because even if he didn't get pinned in that match, and that fatal 4-way match between Lashley, Seth, Kevin Owens, and Big E, although he didn't get pinned, he was still in that match. Therefore, he lost, even though he didn't eat the pinfall. Now, he loses in that fatal 4-way match. How does he come to SmackDown again? And he's a Monday Night Raw competitor. How does he get a title shot against Roman Reigns for the SmackDown Heavyweight Championship belt? Well, the Universal Championship belt, I should say. This is what I mean. Nothing makes sense. You had so many wrestlers that you let go, and you refuse to build up new superstars, and this is what we get. We get a lot of stuff that just doesn't make any sense. Sloppy booking. It's terrible booking at the end of the day. I mean, you had people like Bray Wyatt. You had people like Braun Strowman. You had people like Aleister Black. You had people like Andrade. I mean, the list can go on. And you let go all of these people. I mean, this is where we at in WWE. They have a very small roster at this point now. They're trying to sell those tickets thinking that, we can use Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns. But if you're a smart wrestling fan and you know wrestling, then you know what I'm saying is true. It doesn't make sense. How does a Raw competitor get a title shot against a competitor who's on SmackDown? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. You cannot make this make sense. And it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to title this video WWE Friday Night Smackdown Review. Nothing makes sense because nothing truly makes sense in this company. And I'll go ahead and just end off the rant right there. Not to say I don't want to see Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins face each other, but you have to make it make sense. Give us a storyline. Like, if it was something built up, I wouldn't mind, but there's no storyline. The Royal Rumble is just within a few more weeks, so they're just trying to throw something together because they don't have nothing on the SmackDown roster because, again, WWE, within the past 2 years, they've released like 140 people. And that's not an accurate number. It's an inaccurate number, but it's well over 100 plus people they've let go. I can tell you that now within the past 2 years. And there's no mistake in that. And that's just the honest truth. Again, I'll go ahead and end off this review. And it is what it is. That's how we end off Friday Night Smackdown. With Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns facing each other, and Roman Reigns has a look of concern on his face, while Seth Rollins pretty much laughing and smiling. And that's just, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this review. I'll let you all go about your day. I'll be posting the AEW Rampage review as well, so be on the lookout for that video as well. Again, I appreciate it if you guys hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the AEW Rampage video. So until then, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.